Alright, I'm going to discuss with you what the auto lock feature is on your buffer. A lot of people don't know, when they first get a buffer. What is this button over here? Well, this button is your auto lock. And what that does is whatever speed you have your buffer set to, it's a variable speed trigger, but it only reaches that maximum speed with the trigger pulled the whole way in. So if I squeeze just a little bit, it goes slow, but when I pull it the whole way in, that's as fast as it's going to go at 1400 where I have it set. Push the button and you can let go of the trigger and it runs on its own. You can still adjust the speed. Like so. Now what's this for? This is for when you're doing large panels, big flat areas, and it will save your trigger finger. So if you're doing a large hood or a big door and it's nice and flat and you don't have a lot of edges to deal with where you want to slow down, if you just want to maintain one steady speed, it's oftentimes very nice. It's a nice little function. But I'll tell you what else it's good for. It's good for using your buffer on a bench like this, and I'm going to show you how. I have here a Mercedes GLK tail light, and it had a light scuff on it here, and I sanded it down. I sanded the scuff out with a little 1500 and some 3000, and now I'm going to buff that out. This is a little bit easier while it's off the car, but you can buff lights on the car as well. I wouldn't use the auto lock function at that point, but here I will, so that way I can leave the buffer on the table and just rotate my my part around it. Now, what you have to bear in mind, if I squeeze the trigger real slowly, you can see which way it spins. So when you're holding the buffer, it always spins clockwise. Upside down, it's going to spin counterclockwise. So bear that in mind. So this is the edge I want to buff. If I put it over here, it's going to catch the edge and it's going to push it back on me. So I'm always going to want to buff on this side. Always on this side, towards the center, off to this side. Never on this side. It'll catch the edge and pull it back. So put a little bit of compound here, and I'm just going to spread that out with my finger so I don't have one big blob that is going to want to spray off when the buffer hits it. So I want to get back to about 1400. I usually, when I do this, I go a little slower than I do on the car. So there, it's running. And I steady the machine with one hand to make sure it doesn't flop around. There we go, all nice and shiny again.